Welcome. My name is Arlene and I've been in the fitness industry for over 25 years. Thank you for joining me this evening. Know that at the moment we're stuck indoors, but let's keep moving. Tonight's class is going to be a basic floor style Pilates class. The idea is to do a warm-up session around 5 minutes, and then we're going to do a session of 15 minutes. That 15 minutes I would like you to repeat 3 to 4 times, depending on your strength and your abilities. So now, if you do not have a yoga mat, don't stress. Just put down a blanket or get a towel. Anything to just make sure that your floor that you are lying on is not too hard for you. A blanket works perfectly for this, folded in half. So with that, let's get started. I will be offering variations as to how to make your movement more difficult if you find that the beginner level is too easy. So lying down, we're just going to keep our feet shoulder width. Our knees are shoulder width. Imagine in your mind that your feet are straight. Taking your hands, we're going to base them on the pelvic floor. Now when we place them on the pelvic floor, the base of the hand goes onto the hip bones. You want to feel them right there. The thumbs will cross over the belly button, and then the fingers are pointing down towards the feet. From here, we're first going to start with the breathing. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. I want you to imagine those numbers in your mind as you inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep continuing with this breathing, seeing those numbers in your mind, and the idea is that every time you exhale, you allow your body to become softer and more relaxed. And when you are inhaling, you're allowing the oxygen to go in through the nose. You can feel it gliding through the front of the neck, past the lungs, into the diaphragm. And you can, when you exhale, feel it coming out through the back of the spine, through the back of the neck, and out through the back of the mouth. When we are exhaling, we are trying to avoid the blowing of the exhale, but rather to either do a sigh or a yawn. And I'll demonstrate for you as we inhale, 2, 3, and then we exhale, yawning it through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Allowing your body to relax every time. So we're going to start with warming up the pelvic floor. And I'm going to over-exaggerate the first move. You're going to allow your spine to roll towards you. You can see my spine is completely tilted off the floor. And then you're going to roll it away from you. Once again, exaggerate it because you can see the spine is arched off the floor. Now you're back home. It's not going to be exaggerated. You're going to be listening to your body. And you're just going to roll it as far as your body allows. Now your key point here is as soon as your shoulders start moving, you stop and you return. The shoulder is the indication of the max where it wants to roll to, and then you come on back. Continuing with this, exhaling through. We inhale with the roll towards, and we exhale with the roll away. Let's complete that move and bring it to rest where it feels comfortable. Now we're going to be taking this pelvic floor, we're going to tilt it from side to side, picking it up towards the ceiling, not using your hands, but using your hip bone. Now once again, I'm over-exaggerating. You can see quite a big roll off from the floor. And in my mind, this movement is no bigger than 1 centimeter lifting off the floor. Now your breathing will change slightly. Your breathing is a great asset to your movement, and it can supply such strength to a movement. Here it's going to be a short, impactful exhale. Shh. 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 Now we want to try and keep the move out of the legs. The move is only in the hip floor, and we want to keep it there controlled. Now for us beginners who are not used to this type of breathing, don't stress about it. This will come with the more you practice. So if you're getting lost in the breath, Rather take your attention to what you are doing rather than losing the move. What's also important in Pilates is that we do our movements correctly so that we can increase our range of motion, strengthen our core, but also not hurt ourselves. Let's do one last one. And bring it to rest where it feels comfortably. Now I want you to imagine that your whole pelvic floor is a nice big bowl of custard. And I want you to take this custard and roll it around without spilling it over the edges of this bowl. Now we're going to start with the bowl by the belly button. We're going to tilt that bowl so that the belly button is into the floor. Then we're going to roll it into the one hip bone, into the bum, and then to the other hip bone. And this is a smooth circular motion. You're rolling through the hip floor. It's controlled. We want to let the move be out of the legs, so we don't want the legs to dominate this. This is mostly the pelvic floor that is busy doing all the work. This is how we're warming up the lower spine along with the pelvic floor. Now let's think about this breathing. The first half of your circle will be an exhale, and the second half would be an inhale. Nice smooth breathing. Last circle. Complete that circle and hold it there. Now I know you chose your favorite direction, so let's change direction and see what it feels like. Go in the other direction, keeping it smooth as possible. Now we always have one side that is more favorable to the other. So don't worry if this feels a little bit more squarish, a little bit more difficult. Just concentrate a little bit more. Take it a bit slower. Still trying to keep to that full range. Thinking about the breathing, the first half would be an exhale and the second half would be an inhale. Let's do one more circle and complete it. Great job. Taking your arms up towards the ceiling. Your palms are facing one another, and all we're going to do is draw the shoulders into the ground and then out towards the ceiling. Now this is a shoulder exercise. We want the shoulder to work, not the elbow. So be careful for getting your move into your elbow, bringing it down and bringing it up. So that elbows want to be locked, pull it down to the shoulders and then up towards the ceiling. And as we pull down, we exhale and then we inhale up. Exhale and inhale up. Exhale and inhale up. Let's do this 2 more times. And one last time. And up. Bringing it to neutral, where it feels comfortable, taking your palms up towards the ceiling and then taking it down towards the ground. And that basically completes the beginning warm-up session. And now we're going to go into the exercises. So for 15 minutes, I'm going to give you a routine. You'll be repeating this 15 minutes 3 to 4 times, and then your exercise program is complete for the evening. So from here, we're going to start with the sit-up. Chin goes onto the chest. You're looking through your legs. Your feet are still shoulder width apart. Your hands are going to be resting next to you. Now you can, if you want, place them over the chest or behind the head. But in Pilates, we prefer to keep them right next to us. I'm pushing my feet slightly more away so I can create more range of motion for myself. We exhale up and inhale down. Now while you're busy doing this movement, it is a smooth move. You want to avoid jerking yourself up or swinging yourself up. Everything is smooth and controlled. We've got 4 more here. Exhaling up, inhaling down. It's as though you're peeling yourself off from the floor. 2 more. And one last one. Let's hold it up here. Now while we're holding, we're drawing in the stomach towards the ceiling, towards the spine, and we're just holding it here, relaxing the shoulders and take it down. Let's repeat those 8 again. Peeling it off the floor. Try not swing those arms. Everything is controlled. Exhaling up. 4 more here. 4. Keep the chin tucked in. We're on the last one. Let's hold it up for 4, 3, 2, and relax it down. Allow your legs to come on up. So from here, our legs are in line with our knees. Now, if you do want to make this move easier, you're going to bring your legs right in, allow your tippy toes to touch the floor. Now your hands are going to go out towards the side. Once again, look for your space. We don't want to be bumping into anything. So from here, the toes are pointed, and this is beginner position. Rolling over to the one side. Before you touch the floor with the knees, we exhale up and we roll over. And we exhale up. Now, as I said, this is beginner. This is the intermediate. Intermediate, we have got those legs lifted. Your ankles are in line with your knees. And what we really want to focus on is that our knees are squeezing together. We inhale over and we exhale lift. Now usually in Pilates, the breathing is swapped around to what we usually use in the working environment or in the gym environment. But the idea is wherever your move is the most difficult is where you want to be exhaling through. We've got 2 more of these. One last one. And we complete with those legs staying up at the top. Let's split those knees to shoulder width, and those ankles are still in line with the knees or slightly higher. We're going to flex the feet, and we're going to allow those hands still to relax next to us with those hands on the pelvic floor. So all we're going to do is drop those knees and then exhale up. Now we want to make sure that those heels touch the floor at the same time and leave at the same time. What I want you to be careful of is closing your angle to touch the floor and come on up. You actually want to be dropping those knees out and away from you and then returning it back. Hands are on those hips to feel that your hips are not moving, and between the bum all the way to the shoulders, want to be controlled. Thinking about the breathing, we inhale down and we exhale up. So we've got 4 more of these. 2 more. Last one. I'm hoping you're feeling it here in the core. Placing your hands on the knees, we're going to do a rotator cuff movement. Our hands are going to go over to the ears, all the way around, and then it's going to find your knees again. Over, around. Now, this is more range of motion exercise, so we want to make it as big as possible. Keeping those arms or elbows nice and firm. Thinking about your breathing, inhale over with an exhale all the way around. We've got 2 more of these. One last one. And we're back to the legs. Flexing the feet. We drop it down for 4. 3. Remember the stability, no movement through the spine or the rib cage or the hips or the shoulders. One last one. Let's do 2 arms. All the way over and around, and all the way over and around. Now this is the beginner move for here. Beginner would drop it and lift it up for 1 leg and then 1 arm. So that's beginner. If you want to stay here, please do. If you want to advance it to slightly more difficult, we just merge the 2 together. The legs go down and the hands go around. So yeah, we can feel nice impact on the core, not allowing anything to move. For your next round, when you're going to repeat this for the 2nd time, if you want to advance this even slightly more, you're going to allow your legs not to touch the floor. This is the last one here. So you've got all of those variations to do. So from here, just tuck in the chest and gently rock it towards you. Taking the legs, we're going to place them back on the floor and we're going to go into hundreds. Now hundreds, we're starting with a firm arm, the hand is cupped at the end. A full movement is taken through from the structure of the shoulder. Be careful for flooping through, it's nice and controlled. What's more important is your head is going to be tucked in, and as you're busy pulsing with your arms, you want your neck to be controlled and not wobbling around. So really think about the structure of your neck. So hundreds, I'm also going to supply variations for your legs. I suggest that the first round you keep your legs on the floor. Your second round, your legs will be lifted, and then possibly your third round, your legs will be straightened. but I'll offer all those variations. Putting your hands next to you, we're taking it up, and we're going to begin the hundreds. Inhale. X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, halfway in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, and relax it down. Well done. Stretch it all the way up. And then while we're here, we're just going to take right arm, left leg all the way up and then swap it around. Now this is the beginner position. If you want to advance it, you'll reach up and tap the outside of the ankle. Shh. 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 Got two more. Shh. Last one. Shh. And we're returning back to our position for hundreds. So as I said, you can keep the legs on the floor. Round 2, you would possibly like to keep those legs lifted. And then round 3, straighten the legs. So I'm going to do half with the legs bent, the next half I'll do with the legs straightened. Hands are next to us, chin on the chest, and we draw ourselves up. Let's begin to pulse. Inhale. X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X. Halfway. If you wish, you can straighten. X. Really force those feet into a V. X. Pull back the toes. X. In. X. In. X. And relax, pulling it right, and you really should be feeling that in the core. So, pulling those legs towards us, slight rocks. I want you to turn this into a bigger rock, all the way up to a seated position. From here, we're going to just widen out those feet again. Hands are going to be over our knees, and we're going to straighten out the arms. Lifting up the hands, and we're just holding it here. So now we haven't done anything yet, so we should be in quite a comfortable position. Here we're going to start the challenge. 10 centimeters drop, and we're going to hold it here. Your fingertips should be somewhere around your kneecaps if you're not too sure if you've dropped too much. But once again, this is where you push yourself. If you want to challenge yourself, you can go further. 10 is good for me because I'm going to allow us to drop another 10, and we hold. At any point in time, you should start feeling yourself shaking. Pull your stomach in towards your spine. Just hold it there. Breathe through your move and push it up. Very good. Straightening out those legs, we're just going to fold forward to just give ourselves a relaxing breather. Okay, let's bring it back up again. Bend those legs in. Hands over the kneecaps, straighten it out and lift it up. So this is that first position. Yeah, we shouldn't be feeling much. Now, it doesn't matter what position you're in as long as you're in a position. First position is a good start. If your body isn't stronger to go further than this, this is where you stay and this is where you're starting from. The rest of us, we drop it for 10 and we're holding it there. And what's important is that we haven't allowed our spine to collapse down. We want to keep the spine nice and solid, tucked into the core, and the ribcage slightly pushing forward. This is going to help strengthen through the spine. Now we're going to feel the core is going to be working, the lower back is going to be working. If you're ready for that next 10, drop it down. You should always be feeling that slight shake. Now, no matter how easy the move is in Pilates, you'll always be feeling it if you're activating the muscles correctly. That's the great thing about Pilates. And we are down to 4, 3, 2, and push it up. Straightening out those legs and folding it forward. Okay, we're almost there. We're just going to be finishing off with some planks. Come on up. Spin yourself around onto your knees. Your knees here are going to be shoulder width, and you're taking yourself down onto your elbows. Your tummy is not touching the floor. Resting on your knees, this is the beginner plank position. Now, will be changing our position here and challenging ourselves. But if you cannot go to that next level, you remain on your knees. The rest of us, turning those feet around, lifting the knees up, and we're going to tuck ourselves in here. Now be careful for allowing that spine to collapse. Always pulling in the spine towards the belly and slightly curling the shoulders. I find that this helps lengthen out the spine throughout and it straightens it out. Holding it there. 4, 3. Now remember, you've got your options of either knees are lifted or your knees are on the floor. If your knees are lifted, place them back down. Try not collapse it, always controlled. Your tummy's still not touching the floor. And then we relax it all the way down, allowing our hands to fold on top of each other and place our foreheads onto the hands. So we're in a back lift position. We'll be doing a back lift from here. Try and relax the legs as we're not working the legs at this point in time. Exhale, lift, and inhale, drop. We have 4 more here. Last one. And relax it down. Placing those elbows back under, onto those knees once again. So remember, you've got those choices. You're either going to remain on the knees, and when I say you can lift up, or you can remain throughout on the knees. Remember, the spine slightly curled, pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Turn those feet under, and when you're ready, deep breath in, and then exhale, lift. And we're holding it there. So we're almost there. Let's just push through this last little stretch. And then we know that we've done that first routine done. Almost there. We're counting down for that last 4, 3. Keep pushing. Don't give up on yourself. 2. Allow your knees to come on down. And then push yourself right back into the child pose. Now, child pose is a great stretch. Stretching your arms out in front of you. Placing your third eye or your forehead onto the ground. You can feel you're stretching your arms. And the idea is to make the smallest little ball you can, that your bum is coming as close to your heels as possible. Taking your arms, wrap them around you. Continue with deep breathing, taking a moment, and then slowly coming up. Going into your first position, where you are now going to repeat the routine another 2 or 3 times. Okay, welcome back. Always remember, it is very important to stretch at the end of all of your sessions. No matter what you've done, you've always want to lengthen your muscles back to its original so that you can keep and maintain your full range of motion. So from here, I'm just going to give you some simple stretches which will complete within 5 minutes. Taking yourself down onto the carpet or onto the mat. We're just simply going to start off with stretching out the hip flexors. Taking either one of your legs into your chest. The other leg is going to go up to the ceiling and then slowly take it down as far as you can. Now you're wanting this long leg to be relaxed onto the floor. The whole point here is we are stretching out the hip flexor. The closer your knee is to your chest, the better the stretch will be. Now most people can usually not feel the stretch. That's okay. What we want to make sure is that we're stretching out those hip flexors for all of those hip moves that we have just completed in those 3 routines. Holding it there. We want to hold our stretches for a minimum of 15 seconds each. From here, we're going to open up the leg. We're going to keep the opposite arm onto the knee, and we're going to roll over looking away from our legs. Now this is quite a safe spine twist. Relaxing in this position, focusing on the breathing, inhaling through the nose. And as you exhale, try and let the muscles relax into the floor. Slowly bringing this leg back up again. We're now going to take this long leg, bend it down so that the foot is flat on the floor. Top leg is going to stretch out. Now already you're going to feel those muscles stretching through the back. Taking your hands, cup it over the calf and pull it towards you. Now if you want to increase that stretch, you can bring your body up towards you. But the whole focus is stretching out all these muscles through the back of the leg. And then we're going to relax it down. Let's repeat it on the other side. Next leg comes through to the chest. The other leg is going to go straight up to the ceiling and lengthen all the way down towards the ground. Remember, we're trying to relax into the position, getting the knee as close to your chest as possible. Focusing on the breathing, inhaling through the nose. And as you exhale, allow those muscles to relax into the stretch. Let's release the position, keeping the opposite arm on the knee. We're rolling it over. Nice, safe spine twist. We're wanting this hip to roll through, getting the knee as close to the floor as possible and keeping the chin away from the legs. Slowly bringing it back up. The long leg is now going to come flat onto the floor. Leg to the top is going to stretch out, feeling the muscle stretching. We cup the calf and we pull it closer to us. We really want to focus that we've got a straight knee here so we can actually stretch through these muscles. If you would like to increase it, you can lift up the shoulders. And then we release it all the way down. Bringing those legs into the chest, just gently rocking it through towards you, and then make this a bigger rock until you come up to a seated position. Now, as we did quite a lot of work on the stomach, we're going to turn around and we're going to stretch out the stomach, pushing those hips through to the ground. If this feels uncomfortable to you, take your hands slightly further away from you so that you can actually feel the stretch over the stomach. You don't want to feel any discomfort in the spine. Holding this and then releasing it down, turning onto your side and carefully coming back to a seated position. So here we are, legs are folded, hands are resting over the knees. We're lengthening the spine up to the ceiling, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're rolling the shoulders backwards, just to complete those last bit of exercises and stretches. Complete that. Let's change direction. Completing that one last one, taking the head down. To the other side. Bringing it back to the center, taking it down. And as you're taking it down, you can now focus on drawing in the stomach towards the spine, lengthening the spine up towards the ceiling. Bring our chin back to neutral and then up to the ceiling. Now while we're taking it up to the ceiling, focus on taking the jawline over the lips. So you're actually closing and forcing the mouth closed. You'll feel the stretches through the neck. Back to the center. Taking a deep breath in, we fill up, looking towards the ceiling, and exhale out. Right in. Fill it all the way up to the ceiling and out. And one last one in. Allow the palms to meet and exhale to prayer position. Nice strong base. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your stretching. I hope you enjoyed your session, and I hope to see you soon.